So let's go over the terms of the approved cash out sale, shall we?
Sure.
Okay, so the funding department has agreed to pay all normal closing costs, closing in your timeline.
Discover how you can make $100,000 revenue without any advertisement cost part-time, even with no experience. Get it now at www.wififlipsacademy.com. Link is in the description.
Also purchasing the property in as-is condition for a cash out sale. All right, so the cash out sale number is 125,687. $125,687.
Okay, so you're buying half of the house.
No. We're actually buying the property in as-is condition.
Yeah, well, that definitely won't work for me.
Okay. I'm sorry, that might not work for you. Did you have an idea what you were looking to get for the property?
I don't know. I mean, at least 170.
170. Okay. Well, do you mind if I share some market information here that we have on our end here, so that I can give you a more of a breakdown of how the funding department came up with this number?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So, are you familiar with the neighborhood in any way?
Yeah, I mean, I've owned that property for a long time. So
Okay. So we have a 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 1,319 square foot home built in 1955 over at 4132 Woodfox.
Mhm.
Okay, that home was listed for 215,000, and it actually sold for 207,000. And this home seems to be pretty much dated, but it needs some work on it, and that's the reason why, the pricing of the house. Now,
Okay, stop right there. Quick tip. Go back a year. I just found a comp that sold for 177,000 at 10130 Bassoon. So when we're analyzing our numbers, we want to be really tight. But when we're negotiating with the sellers, we gotta get the facts of the market that are actual facts that help our cause, which is buying at the lowest price.
got it.
So do not take the comps at face value at 6 months only when you're trying to negotiate with the seller. At this point, it's not a laydown deal. He's not really a wacko. He's trying to figure out whether or not he keeps dealing with tenants and fixing it, or he sells it as is. He gave you a number of 170. And so you should, when we want to pull low comps, we want to.
Great tip. There's a great tip, by the way. I've never used. I've never gone back more than 6 to 12 months, and I didn't do that here. But that was a great tip. That gives me more ammo.
Yeah, for sure. So now you can, okay, if I can share, or do you mind if I share with you some market information so you can make an informed decision, blah, blah. You can kick it off with 10130 Bassoon, which sold for 177,000 after being listed for 39.
189.
Yeah, and listed for 39 days in the market. And it honestly looks probably in similar or better shape than what I'm describing the house to be.
Yep.
So okay, so go ahead.
All right. So, are you familiar with 10130 Bassoon?
Okay. You don't want to say the exact street number, because that's going to throw people off. What you want to do is you want to say, are you familiar with Bassoon Street or Bassoon Drive?
Got it.
And ideally, they'll say yes. And if not, I'm looking for where it's at. That was so far. Okay, so Bassoon Drive, they might say, that's just down the street from me.
Yeah, because it's right at the corner.
Yeah, that's just off the street from me. Or they might say, oh, not really. Well, it's, you're at Woodhaven. It's just down the street, close to Woodfin Street. And that way people kind of mentally locate, because they only know their house. They don't know the whole neighborhood's house. But it's the same. You can also say it's in the same subdivision in this case. Not that it always would be, but it's in the same Westwood subdivision, so that they know that you're just not making shit up.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Right. So I'm looking at a property in your same subdivision here, which is down the street from your house on Bassoon Drive. That actually was on the market, and it sold for 177, and it seems to be in pretty much the same condition as yours, if not just a little better here. It does have wood flooring on it, and it was on the market for 39 days. And considering that it was listed, the people who sold this home netted about 90% of that 177.
So he said no. You say, okay, I'm sorry, this may not work for us. Is it okay if I share with you some market data? And you jump to the comps. You didn't really discuss, I don't think we discussed or got alignment on property condition.
We didn't. Nope.
So, okay, you should say, got it. Well, it sounds like the home may need some work, such as paint, update the kitchen, update the bathrooms. AC is good, roof is good, foundation is good, but it sounds like it may need some work. In our system for the area, including labor and materials, in order for us to take the property to showroom condition, it may cost us in the ballpark of $30 a square foot, which realistically would cost us at our wholesale construction prices about $39,000. Does that sound fair enough? That should have been the next step. You kind of jumped into comps. So the thing is, you're missing the pre-framing of the conversation. Like, listen, we gotta be realistic here. Your house needs work.
We gotta align with prices.
We gotta have a meeting of the minds. We gotta have a meeting of the minds. If we have no meeting of the minds, he's in Mars and you're Jupiter, and you will never get a deal done, right? You also got to know if you're dealing with a wacko or not. Somebody has to be reasonable. So got it. I'm curious if we could get the funding department to take care of those updates, repairs, pay your normal closing costs in hours, not charge commissions, and close in your timeline, assuming we could get a clear title. Did you have any idea of what would be the least you would need from the property to help you move on so that you can not have to deal with tenants again? He said 170, right?
Yeah.
Now that we spoke repairs, he might say, oh, well, I mean, if it needs 39,000, maybe he'll say, well, I'll let it go for 150. See, we just got him down some. The negotiation starts at the no. We got to be really clear and accept it, that these negotiations start at the no. So he's going to give us the second asking price. Okay. So you're going to say, wow. Okay. Thanks. Do you have an idea if title's clear or if we need to pay off any mortgage or liens in order for us to get clear title? You're just getting facts. You might say, oh, I got a child lien or I got this or that. You're just writing it down. Okay, got it. So title's not clear yet. We have some payouts to take care of. Not a problem. Do you have a ballpark idea as to what needs to be paid off at closings to the mortgage company or liens for us to get a clear title? We're just trying to get information as to how much they owe. He may not owe anything, right?
Yeah.
Now that you have that second asking price is where you start looking at market data. Because now you're figuring out, is this a wacko? So like if I would have said, hey, on my second asking price, not my initial asking price, you missed the alignment or repair, so you missed the second asking price, okay, to determine how am I going to negotiate with this person. So in your case, you do have low comps available. So it's not a lay down lead. We know that. He's not wanting retail, because if he would have said 260. He's just maybe uneducated or stern. I don't know. So he's now at 150. So low comparables are available. You see how this works?
Yeah.
Low comparables are available. Is it okay if I share with you some market data so you can make an informed decision? Are you familiar with Booster Street? Now you bring it up. Okay, well, it is in the same area and very comparable, and it looks like it was sold on the market for 177, but probably only netted about 90% of that. So like 160 due to all transactional fees, closing costs, and realtor commissions. Now, knowing this information, do you have an idea if in fact you would rather sell on the market or prefer to take an easy cash out sale? Notice, I want you to notice something that was done very different from the script than what you were doing. You mentioned and talked about the condition of that comparable. The script doesn't. The script says it's very comparable in the same area. I'm not trying to feed you lies, but I'm not trying to feed you more information that I need to. I'm trying to tell you in the same area, sold for 177. They probably only netted about 90% of it, maybe even less because maybe they did repairs. I'm not going into detail saying this one sold for 177. It had an outdated kitchen. It's the same condition of yours. Because what's going to happen if I tell you that? You're going to want 177. No, I'm framing you that there's a comparable house in the same area. God knows how much they spent to be able to put it on the market. They spent 10% on different fees and it sold for 177. So realistically, these people probably netted anywhere between 150 to 130 because we don't know how much repairs they put to put it on the market.
Make it look clean. Got it.
Very different. You started saying oh, this Bassoon property, it seems like it's in very same condition, maybe a little bit better. You're sharing too much. You're sharing too much. Oh, what are the facts? The facts that it sold for 177. It's in a very comparable area, a very comparable property. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, no garage. That's it. And because it went retail, it went through the retail headaches. So, okay, Mr. Seller, well, it is in the same area, very comparable. It looks like it was sold on the market for 177, but probably only netted about 90% of that number. So it would be like 160 or 150 due to all the transactional fees, closing costs, and realtor commission. Now, knowing this information, do you have an idea if in fact you would rather sell on the market or prefer to take an easy cash out sale? If there's no low comparables or that are available, you can say, so what do you think the county appraised it for? Remember that one, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna tell you another number or maybe the same, I don't know. But then net realistic worst case scenario, as we discussed briefly, it's my understanding you're selling the home because you don't want to deal with tenants and you want to just cash out. Is that first statement? Got it. Well, before you waste more time or money, my goal is that you can make an informed decision. Is it okay with you to determine together what would be your most realistic net amount if you were to list the home on the retail market for the most money, and how that may compare to a fast cash out sale? Perfect. As we discussed, the home may need some updates and repairs that could approximately total up to $39,000. As I mentioned before, my job here is to try and figure out together with you if an easy cash out sale is the best option for you. Now, whether we sell it or you do, there are some costs involved with selling that we would recommend budgeting for so you can know the bottom line. Does that sound fair enough? So there's 5 key haggle factors. There's 5 key costs. Haggle factor, negotiation, repairs, da 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 da. Here, you gotta read the person. If they're kind of in a rush, you can't probably go through all of it, but depending on how you read the person, if you're both in alignment that the property may be worth 177 and you're both in alignment that it needs 39,000, right? It sounds, Mr. Seller, that if you were to list a property and you were to put $39,000 into the property, you may net 105, 6,000. Oh no, let's say he says, oh no, if I put $39,000 in that home, I could probably sell it for 200,000. Okay, I'll play along with you. Okay, then you might net 125. Why am I bringing you this? Because these are the conversations you should be having every day. There's always some take and give, and motivated sellers that are calling, sell my house fast cash ads may not be updated to know that their house is worth 236. In their mind, at the highest worth, it may be 200, even if they put 39 grand. That still leaves us room to buy it at something that is reasonable.
Yes.
But if we start over educating them, then we're our worst enemy. So you use this to have a meeting of the minds. We have our numbers. These are our numbers, internal. Like, this is what you bring to the whiteboard meeting. It's worth this. This is what I think it needs. You use this to help them to understand that there's a cost of fixing, selling, and keeping the house, and get them as close to the cash.
I think that, yeah, great. Thank you, Joel. Thank you. It's clearing up a lot of things for me. And as a matter of fact, we had this conversation with Wilman last week. I believe it was like Tuesday or Wednesday when he was sharing something with me, and I saw the way he was doing his numbers, and I said, maybe you're doing it the right way, but this is the way I do it. And I showed him, just like I showed you. And he was like, oh, no, that's not it. You're supposed to pick the highest. Yeah, I do. But when I'm doing our internal numbers, and he's like, but why are you doing that? You're doing more than you have to. I said, well, this is the way it's worked for me. And this is how I get an idea of the numbers before I even get to where we need to go. And then he was like, well, if that's worked for you, that's good, but I'm doing it this way. And he actually thought the way I was doing it was wrong. And I have to be honest with you, I actually thought the way he was doing it was wrong. But I totally see what you're explaining to me, that in some way we're both wrong, but we're both right at the same time, because what you just showed me right now is like what's correct. And it's sort of a in between the way he does it and in between the way I do it. But I get it. I know exactly what you're saying.
There has to be a meeting of the minds with the sellers, and they're either ready to sell it at a discount or they need some help getting there. Because at the end of the day, they're calling or they're submitting their info online for a reason.
Yeah, they need the help, and not just to sell their home, but to make an informed decision, like it says on the script.
So now you know what's in their mind. This guy started off without giving you a number. You gave them a number so that they could say no. Negotiations start at the no.
Yeah, that's the new trick we have. We give
We
them a
have to-
number so they can say no.
We have to embrace the no. There's gonna be some people that are ready. There's gonna be some people that are ready, but we still wanna embrace the no.
Yeah.
Because remember,
Use
we're
the no as a stepping stone is what you're saying. Use the no
Yeah.
as a stepping stone to take to the next move. It's not a definition. It's just another step to get you to the next step.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
just because they said no or their number doesn't align to us, that doesn't mean that we're done with the call or we're done with no. That it
Absolutely
just opens the door. It just opens the door. Got it.
That is literally just a step.
Mhm.
That's just a step.
And like I was telling you, I kind of like the format of the script a little better now. It's
Mhm.
less confusing for me, but yeah, it's just a matter of, like you said, doing it correctly, following the script and getting it done.
So that's why we need to practice every day.
Yeah.
Because these subtleties will kill or make a deal, right?
Yeah.
This guy had some pain and there's some low comps.
Didn't want to deal with the renters anymore.
Yeah.
And there was low comps. Yeah. And that trick too, that go back a year, that's pretty good. But
Yeah.
no more than a year, right? Don't go back.
Yeah, I think no more than a year. I mean, I think a year's enough unless you're desperate, but a year is enough. A year should be enough. I mean, the idea is that if they get off the phone, and they Google 10130 bassoon, they'll see that it's sold for that, so that you're not a liar.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to tell them the condition. I'm trying to say it's a comparable property based on the property characteristics, and it's in the same area. That's it. And the fact
Some
is,
people are on their computer while you're talking to them, looking for these things.
yeah.
Yep.
So I hope this was useful. We have the meeting now.
Yes, tremendously. Thank you, Joel.